G'day guys, Rob here and welcome back to Rob's Model Cars. Now this is technically the first video for 2021. The Mazda 787B model review was actually pre-recorded before New Year, so I hope everyone had a fantastic Christmas and a happy New Year. I know that many places around the world did not really celebrate due to what's going on still in the world, but I hope all of you are still safe. And welcome back to the second new model review for 2021. Now today's model, I never really sort of planned to buy that last year when it was announced because I wasn't a huge fan of the car, but I've since decided that I want to fill in a few of the gaps of my Ferrari collection, and basically a couple of models were missing. Now since I built the custom Ferrari FF last year with the panoramic roof, I thought I had to add the GTC4 Lusso T to the collection as that was the updated version of the Ferrari FF. So that's what we're reviewing today. This is the brand new BBR models Ferrari GTC4 Lusso T. Now this one actually has the panoramic roof, which is what I wanted to match my custom Ferrari FF model that I converted to have a panoramic roof. So we've reviewed a ton of BBR models before. They just come in these plain red boxes for the Ferrari models, a little bit of silver BBR branding around the box and a label on the end what model is inside. Now if we lift the lid off the box, models do come with a certificate of authenticity. It's just a little white booklet here saying how limited the model is. This model was ordered with a clear plexiglass display case. You can order them with a case or without a case. And this is the brand new Rosso Corsa Red Ferrari GTC4 Lusso T with panoramic roof, which I'll show you in a little bit more detail so far. But quite a very well detailed model from BBR. Again, it is a sealed resin model, nothing opens, so there's no engine detail on this one, but the bonus is that it does have the panoramic roof, so you can see a lot more of the interior detail, which is nice. So as usual, we'll get this out, we'll put it on the turntable and we'll have a closer look at this brand new Ferrari model from BBR. Okay, so here we have the brand new BBR Ferrari GTC4 Lusso T. Now first impressions, it actually looks really very good. As usual, very high standards from BBR in regards to the paintwork finish and the level of detail on this model as well. So overall, first impressions, it looks fantastic. Now one thing to note is that the GTC4 Lusso is actually quite a bit larger than say a 488 GTB in size, but that is due to the fact that it is a four-seater car. So sitting in the display case, it is quite noticeable how much bigger this particular model is compared to other models in the Ferrari range. But we'll start with the base first. So they come on these, well this one's on a black leatherette base with red stitching. You've got BBR models embossed in this corner. You've got a beautiful laser cut metal badge as well, GTC4 Lusso. A little Ferrari emblem on the back here. And you've got the limited edition plaque on here as well. Now this one is limited to 64 pieces and this one is number 31, so just about in the middle of the production range. Now I get asked all the time, can you remove these models from the base? Yes, you can. There is a layer of felt here, and if you feel with your finger, you can see a depression there. That is where the screw hole is. Just put a cut in that felt with a hobby knife and you can stick your screwdriver in there and unscrew the screws and remove the model. Now, as I said, fantastic application, excuse me, of the paint on this model car. As always with BBR models, the application of the paint is flawless. There's no defects, no imperfections, and the application of paint is even all over the model. Now unfortunately there's no carbon fibre details on this model. Most of it is matte black, and we'll start with the front of the car. So the little front splitter here is in matte black. The grille is in matte black. You've got your little Ferrari Cavallino. There is photo etched mesh all in the front of this model and the side ducts as well, as you can see, and you can see the radiators sitting in behind there also. You do have a nice little photo etched 3D Ferrari emblem on the nose of the model, and they've done a really good job on the headlight detail as well. So as you can see there, the plastics they use are super clear, and you've got a nice amount of detail with the DRLs and the headlight bulbs in there as well. So okay details on that department there. Now if we move around to the side of the car, we've got a little clear turn signal indicator here underneath the louvers on the side. The louvers on the side here are just in a gloss black, no carbon fibre on this model, as I said. And you do also have BBR's exquisite Scuderia shields on the side. Now these are little 3D embossed decals with a nice little silver edge around the decal, and they look super realistic compared to the real car. Now as I said, no carbon fibre, so the side sill extension here is just in a matte black colour. We do have black on the bottom of the mirrors, and the top mirror caps are in body colour red, and they always use super clear reflective material on behind the mirrors as well. Now if we have a look at the windscreen wipers on this model, these are in metal, photo etched metal for the windscreen wipers, and the plastics that they use for all the windows are super clear, no distortion, best I've seen on any resin models for the windows. Now we'll get to the panoramic roof. It is quite tinted, as you can see, but it does have a curvature both ways in the roof. It's got a curvature that way and a curvature that way. Something I found very difficult to do on my Ferrari FF conversion model, but they've done a really good job on the panoramic roof on this model. Also to note that on these windows they do have a little matte black metal frame around the outside of the window as well, which does give it that three-dimensional feel rather than just being a black border printed on the windows. So really nice job there. You can see the nice little handles here with a little silver key lock in behind there. On this side of the model you do have the fuel flap on the top haunches of the rear fender here also, and you've also got this little air diffuser rear spoiler here as well from the roof, which is open through to the back window to let air through. Just a tiny little spoiler on the back here, a little bit of a ducktail as you can see here. But the one thing I really do like about the GTC4 Lusso is the quad tail lights, as you can see here on the back, which are on all the newer model Ferraris like the 812 Superfast. So yeah, really I do like the tail light version on this one compared to the Ferrari FF, and there's also more photo etch mesh on the back here. So the two little mesh panels here and the mesh panels underneath are open photo etch mesh. Again, no carbon fibre on the diffuser. This is just in a matte black, as you can see. But they have done a really good job on the exhaust outlets. You've got two either side here. Of course, it's wearing the GTC4 Lusso number plate. And I think that's about all the detail. You do have your third brake light in here and also your Ferrari Cavallino badge on the back as well, which is a nice touch. Now the back window does actually have the demister lines printed on it, which looks pretty good also. But overall, the execution, I think they've done a really good job of the model. The stance looks very good, very factory compared to the real cars. And it's just all those little details around the car which just really bring high-end resin models just above the mass-produced composite opening models. So that's my opinion on that. Now let's talk about the wheels. These are the full silver version. I thought I'd order a model with a silver wheel this time rather than a diamond cut or a black wheel, just for something different. But they have done a really good job on the casting of these wheels. They're nice crisp edges on the spokes of these split 5 stars. You do actually have little photo etched metal wheel lug nuts in there. Of course, you've got the Ferrari center caps on there as well. and you do have a valve stem as well on the wheel in between one of those spokes. And they've done a really good job on the brake rotors and the brake calipers in the model as well, as you can see. So you've got your two-piece rotor in there, which is in silver, so that says to me that that is a steel rotor and not a carbon ceramic, but they do have nice red Ferrari brake calipers in there as well, so that applies to the rear as well. Nice job on the rear wheels, rear brakes and rear calipers also. So yeah, as I said, I think they've done a really good job on the exterior execution of this model. Now I can assure you that this model is going to be released in tons and tons of colours throughout 2021. So if Rosso Corsa is not your thing, they will be releasing many more colours with different wheel options on different bases, with or without the panoramic roof. That is one thing that BBR models do. They will make tons and tons of variations. So don't think that you're going to miss out on one if you can't get this exact example, because they will be making a ton more variations. Yeah, all right, let's talk about the interior. So the interior is actually really very well detailed on this model. So you can see through the front window, the dashboard has all the demister grills, speaker holes and details in that. Also, the instrument pod in front of the driver has quite a bit of detail in it as well, and you can probably see the steering wheel, gear shift paddles and instrumentation decal in there as well. Hopefully there's not too much glare on the window, and you do have all the aircon vent faces in silver as well, as you can see through that front window. Now, as I said, the detail inside is really quite good on this model. Hopefully you can see that. It's got a beautiful big screen in the center console, and the details down through the central bridge in the center console, and the switchgear in there as well is really quite well detailed. It does have a beige or tanny colored interior inside the model. Beautifully executed seats with the stitching details. You've got the Cavallino molded into the headrest, and you've got a little bit of carbon fiber detail in the center console as well. Hopefully you can see that. And the back seats are the same, so you've got the same amount of detail in the back seats with all the stitching details in the side of the seats. Of course, this does have cloth seat belts front and rear with little metal seat belt latches. And as I said, with the panoramic roof, you can actually see right into the interior detail. So hopefully this is not glaring too much, and you can see right through the roof and see the interior detail and the center console that runs right through into the back seats. So yeah, there is a little bit of texture on the floor to represent carpet. I don't think it's actual flocking. It's just a little bit of texture to the plastic. But needless to say, the detail is very good on the inside of this model. You do pay a little bit more for these resin models compared to, say, an auto art model, but the level of detail is just so much better. There's no molded textured plastic to look like carbon fiber. A little bit of dust on there. And it's just all those little details. All the switches are correct. All the instrumentation is correct. It's just a better quality model. Now, as I said, it is a sealed resin model, but it is a great looking model on display. I will be leaving this one on the base just so that I'm not handling it, and if I ever want to sell it on in the future, it doesn't affect the value because it's never been removed from the base. But overall, I think BBR have done a really good job on this model. So if I'm going to rate this out of 10 for my Rob score, look, I'm going to give this one I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. I still think, as I've said in previous videos, that a model like this that has no engine detail visible should be a bit cheaper than a model that has engine detail visible, because let's face it, this has got to be a little bit less in cost to produce because there's no engine detail, there's no manufacturing of those parts. So I believe that these front engine models where you don't see any engine should be a bit cheaper than a mid-engine car that shows engine detail. So that's just my 2 cents worth. Otherwise, I'd give it a slightly higher score just because I think it should be priced a little bit cheaper. But overall, it is definitely the best quality Ferrari model of the GTC4 Lusso T that you can currently buy. So if you are a Ferrari fan, I think this is an absolutely must to add to the collection. But anyway, that's going to wrap up today's video review of this new BBR Models Ferrari GTC4 Lusso T. That's quite a mouthful. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Smash that like button, and don't forget you can follow me on social media as well. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and I do also have a eBay store where I do sell some models and some rare model parts for you model builders as well. So the name is Rob's Model Cars for all of those 3 accounts. Links to those 3 pages are on the home page of this YouTube channel. So just go to the home page and you can click the links and it'll take you straight there to the social media and eBay store. So that's going to wrap up today's video review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next one. It's coming very shortly. But until next time, thanks for watching Rob's Model Cars.